Ireland is probably, in my opinion, one of the easiest places to set up a business today in the technology space, without doubt. It's easier than the States. It's easier to find funding for research. It's easier to get government support for commercializing that research. So it's a natural place for someone like myself to be involved in, and I feel absolutely no need to go anywhere else. We're a nation of emerging technologists. We're managing to dominate in areas that we shouldn't be dominating in because of our size. We're taking advantage clearly of various economic things that have happened. We're taking advantage of some clever moves on the tax side of things by previous governments, and that's great. That's created the opportunity. Now we're in a challenging but really important phase where we have to move away from this reliance on the multinational tax break culture of technology that we've had, and we need to move towards a more self-sustaining, bred from home technology and companies, and that's happening. Lots of small companies setting up that have spun out of these larger companies. Lots of commercial enterprises are setting up out of research that's happened in universities here in Ireland. And it's true. I think we're ahead of the world in that respect, in the way we fund research, the amount of research money that's available, per head of capita today. And I think the attractiveness of Ireland as well as a place for different nations to come to and to be educated and to set up businesses. What we understand today as our TV and our toaster and our fridge are probably changing, over time. And certainly the distinction between a video game and a TV channel and email and the web are all converging and are, very definably so, moving into a different realm now. What's a phone call of the future going to look like? What's texting of the future going to look like? All these things are moving forward at a really rapid pace. And when we look at the power of the devices that are in the living room, and those devices are going to get more and more powerful, and the way we interact with them are going to become much more seamless. We'll have cameras, we'll have sensors, we'll be tracked as we're in our home. We can wave our arm on the TV or whatever is being used to project someone who we're talking to will react in some way. The interface between us and the device is going to change enormously, and that's, right now, it's a huge barrier. Right now you've got keyboards, and you've got microphones, and you've got game joypads, and you've got sort of small TV screens, and these are all barriers to how this technology can be used and consumed. I think we're up with technology at the moment, and I think we're well placed to make a difference in this area. I think there are lots of media-related technology companies in Ireland, and there's been lots of support for that. And not only do you have the technologists, but you also have the artists and the creative people coming together in very interesting projects, and that's going to be very important as well. We can't lose sight of why we're doing this. We can't just be a software company. We have to be very cognizant of the impacts of what we're doing on the general public and why we're doing it. And that's why I like the entertainment space, because you have a very tangible connection to the user. You're aware all the time when you're creating software that there's someone at the other end of this who's supposed to be enjoying themselves or communicating or expressing themselves. And that informs you, I think, very definitely in how you plan your technology and how you plan your products. I very much know I'm Irish, and I'm aware that affects who I am and others' perception of me. I think it has worked for me in business. It works for me in the US, for example. It gives you a certain edge of mystique when you're in the States particularly, and also in Japan and places like that, because you're not one of them, you're someone different, but also you're speaking English natively and you're associated with this place that people have heard of and they have various preconceived notions about. But here you are presenting a very high technology product, for example, and that surprises them sometimes, because they do have this perception of Ireland being, the green grass and the cows and the pint of Guinness. And here you are sort of dispelling those illusions to some extent, and you can trade on that to some extent. People, I think it just gives you an opportunity to grab their attention a bit more so than you normally would have, and that helps enormously. And I'm very aware when I'm away from Ireland that I'm away from Ireland, and I don't believe I ever really want to live anywhere else other than in Ireland, or I want my kids to be brought up in Ireland, because I think Ireland is one of the best places in the world to live today, and I've seen lots of other places.